Get ready, adventurers. Today I have the honor and privilege to get my hands on the latest advanced game system deck from the creative mind of Victor Robles of Lizuren Games. Deck 4 is a wonderful addition to the 3 immersive decks we have so far. If you aren't familiar with the advanced game system, here's what they can do in your dungeon. These cards let you level up your hero by choosing a class and unlocking advanced skills. Every hero can now acquire advanced mechanics, and yes, even the mighty barbarian gets a special ability. Beef up your armory with advanced equipment, earn experience points after each completed quest, and create thematic storytelling with each monster slain. The advanced game system isn't an expansion, nor a standalone game. It's the ultimate power-up for the best and most legendary dungeon-crawling board game ever created, where heroes embark on epic quests. Which is why I've been given the privilege to review the latest deck on my channel. So grab your battle axe and get ready to embark on an epic journey into the Jungles of Delthrak. For as we speak, a strange bioluminescent blight continues to ravage all living things. The longer we wait, the deeper it roots. Let our heroes unite. This is the Advanced Game System 4. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Fair Weatherman, and today I got my hands on something special. Advanced Game System Deck 4. Lizuren generously sent me his latest card installment to review, and as always, you're going to get my honest take. I've used a similar experience point system in my gameplay before, but this is my first time getting my hands on the Advanced Game System cards. I can't wait to test them out and see how they can be incorporated into standard gameplay. Let's jump in and see what they bring to the table. First off, I'd like to go over the system mechanics. The short of it is broken down into a few categories. Class systems allow heroes to level up with the primary role in the party that's compatible with their race. Humans, elves, dwarfs, and magicborn. This includes all official hero characters we received in the Avalon Hill expansions. There are 12 classes in all, unlocking a set of unique skills for each hero. The system goes from intermediate skills to master skills as they earn experience points in the dungeon. Experience points allow Zargon players a thematic storytelling script for each slain monster type in the dungeon, and earning our heroes experience points allowing them to level up. We have green, white, gray, frozen horror, we have elven, we have giant ogres, and transparent monsters as well. All these are available in his previous deck expansions. Watch your heroes progress into a mighty warrior as their skills grow from each completed quest, allowing them a primary ability able to increase up to 5 levels of gameplay. The Advanced Equipment deck unlocks an advanced armory full of ruthless weapons and shiny armor. The Investigation deck gives heroes the ability to search each piece of furniture found in the dungeon. And Journey cards send heroes on special missions between quests, resulting in randomized events, connecting storylines from quest to quest, and setting up mechanics for future quests. Now that Jungles of Delthrak has been released, Lizuren has expanded the advanced game system to include gameplay mechanics from this expansion. Personally, I love what Jungles brought to the table. The new theme allows for a lot of fun imagery for homebrew content. Let's see what's new inside AGS4. We can now earn experience points after slaying Raptors, Skull Blights, Blight Weavers, Blight Crawlers, Serpents, and the Giant Ape. Now these will range from anything from 25 to 125 experience points, with the flavored text saying, "The jungle monster dies in the dense vegetation, breaking branches as it falls after your final attack." The Giant Ape falls lifeless at the base of a tree. After your final attack, you gain 130 experience points. He's even included experience cards for the Goblin and Skeleton archers found in Against the Ogre Horde and Jungles of Delthrak, adding to the white and green monster deck in previous expansions, which I think is really cool. So this brings up the question of how much of the game system needs to be out on the table at once. I've set up a Jungles of Delthrak scenario as an example. I imagine all standard monster cards, green, white, and gray, would need to be accessible for Zargon players because we're still going to encounter these creatures in the Jungles expansion. Also, advanced skill cards that are in play would be dealt prior to the start of the quest, which we can find here for our wizard, as well as any official cards from the game system. The investigation deck would need to be accessible for Zargon players as well for heroes to interact with furniture in the dungeon. Things like the advanced armory, journey cards, and unused class system skill cards would be set aside during play until the end of the quest. There's also the addition of ogre cards found in this expansion, the brown and the gray, whose artwork closely resembles that from the official expansion and the figures from Avalon Hill. I guess now would be a good time to talk about the use of AI-generated art in this expansion, something I feel could warrant a video all in itself. I get why some in the community have sworn off the use of AI in created artwork, and if you fall in that camp, I can respect your decision. There's something charming about the classic card art that's impossible to recreate with AI. For me personally, I have no issues with AI on smaller projects like the advanced game system, because I couldn't imagine the price tag to hire an artist for a project of this size. I feel the artwork in this deck gets the job done and isn't distracting in any way, like its previous efforts. This artwork here especially stands out as being just terrible AI. Shield Slam. I've been looking at this picture for a while now. I have no idea what's going on. I see a couple hands and a weird shield, and I don't know if that's a face. But I feel like in this system, the artwork really has stepped up. Advanced Game System 4 unlocks 2 new hero classes, the Human Hunter and the Dwarf Ogreslayer. Both come with 5 unique skill cards that are accessible with every level increase and compound as heroes level up. New and noteworthy cards are level 1, Determination. Use this skill when activating a Grasping Vines trap. You suffer the trap's normal damage, but will not be ensnared and can move normally. We have level 4, Camouflage. Use this skill when you are in outdoor terrain. You blend into the environment. While you remain in this type of terrain, enemies attempting to attack you must roll 1 black shield on 1 combat die to detect you. Do not discard after use. And Loyal Companion. Use this skill to summon an animal ally, a wolf or a raptor. This acts independently until the end of the quest or until it is defeated. Can move and attack, may be used once per quest. This of course will be used by a level 5 or higher hunter. I like how these cards interact with existing game mechanics, like the Grasping Vines. The system works great alongside official content, tying in the gameplay from the quest book. Some noteworthy Ogreslayer cards are level 3, Warcry. Use this skill on your turn. All heroes in the same room or corridor as the Ogreslayer gain 1 additional defense die. We have Relentless Pursuit. Use this skill when an ogre adjacent to your hero moves away from you. Place your hero adjacent to that ogre and perform a free attack. And we have Critical Strike, which I think is my favorite. You focus all your strength into 1 final blow. The next time you make an attack with the melee weapon, double that weapon's attack dice. Afterwards, you must rest from the effort. Your turn ends immediately and you lose your next turn. Maybe used once per quest. I like this fun way to utilize a power mechanic you typically see in video game RPGs. It's clear that this dwarf hero class was created to work alongside the Ogre Horde expansion, since its skills revolve around ogre interactions, none of which we see in Jungles of Delthrak. So I appreciate Lizuren adding this extra bonus into this game deck. What I find to be the most exciting addition to the Advanced Game System 4 deck is Zargon's ability to use monster skill cards. This is something we typically see with dread spells and quest bosses, but nothing with standard monsters. In this deck, Zargon gets to unlock special monster skills as our heroes grow stronger. If you choose to continue the use of 1 hero throughout prior expansions, that hero is going to continue to level up, and Zargon's going to have to also up his game. You're in for a real treat when you get to Jungles of Delthrak. Not only does Zargon have the ability to balance the game in previous editions of the Advanced Game System, now he's given the ability to level up dungeon monsters, granting them special skills to all similar monster types with every encounter. And these are accumulative as well. Things like a suicidal zombie Any zombie adjacent to a hero may lose 1 body point to make a 4 combat dice attack against that hero. Afterward, the zombie is defeated. Remove its miniature from the game. You also have a skeleton that uses reach. Skeletons may target heroes located on diagonal squares for their attacks. And the card that gives me the most PTSD is the Mummy's Hug attack, inflicting 1 point of damage at the start of each turn, similar to the Yetis found in the Frozen Horror. In this expansion, instead of playing in turn order described in the rulebook, you may use initiative cards. These cards determine the turn order. Each card displays a number between 1 and 5, with the player holding 1 going first and the player whose 5 goes last. Once all players, including the Game Master, have taken their turns, the order changes. I really like this game mechanic. It's something that a lot of people have homebrewed in the past, and I think the cards just make it simple to incorporate. Adding to the investigation deck is the addition of 5 unique Jungles of Delthrak interactions, allowing heroes to engage with the bonfire, crystal clusters, stockpile, pool of water, and the statue. Almost all of the officially released content consists of the standard dungeon dressing, and so we're blessed to receive new miniatures in this release. Building off prior card decks, the investigation cards allow heroes to interact with mental test, strength test, and agility test in order to unlock special interactions, ranging from earning a healing potion, gold, and attracting wandering monsters. You'll also receive 2 more journey cards found in this release, with the addition of thematic monsters from Jungles of Delthrak. I like this short and simple idea of adding a trailer of sorts for the next quest. Events include encounters with a pleasant abomination, to being ambushed by a group of raptors. After reviewing all prior card decks, including this one, I feel one of the most overlooked elements is the amount of thematic text added throughout each expansion. The advanced game system gives Zargon players storytelling elements throughout the quest. After each slain monster, there's a bit of flavored text. It may be overused, but at least it grants you something to say. It would have been nice to have a different text for every weighted experience card, but that might be too much to ask for. With each furniture interaction, there's storytelling. Even the journey cards provide a bit of storytelling interactions to deepen the thematic experience for players. This is something I feel most people overlook when reviewing this game system, and one element I feel is the strongest across all the decks. Lizuren has done an amazing job blending a lot of different homebrew elements the fandom have created into one simple card expansion. We've all utilized dice tables in an attempt to make a unique dungeon experience for our heroes, but AGS not only takes those systems, but brings them to life in new ways, adding elements that continue to enhance the game beyond simple house rules. If I was to be critical about anything, it would be the need to purchase every deck in order to have the complete system. I realize this is an add-on to the official content, making it dependable on further expansions. But from my perspective, as someone who started at Deck 4, they would have to be committed to purchasing all previous releases in order to get the most out of the system. Lizuren has attempted to streamline this process by creating a discounted bundle on DriveThruRPG, allowing the option to purchase everything prior to this release at once. But it comes at a hefty price tag. I can imagine a future release as a completed box set housed in a small game box or tin that can hold the entire system that would be well worth the money. As a bonus, it can come with the Raven figure from Minis 3D. After reviewing Uncharted Dungeons last month, I've become a huge fan of Lizuren's card creation, and I'm thrilled to add the advanced game system alongside my official HeroQuest content. If I was forced to pick one additional system, I can say with certainty this would be it. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you like what you saw, head on over to DriveThruRPG and pick up a copy of the Advanced Game System 4. If you hadn't had a chance to check out my review of Uncharted Dungeons, you can find it on the listing there as well. As always, your survival depends on your ability to work together, for no true hero stands alone. Come, let the quest begin.